Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the Feral Druid going into Shadowlands. If you like what you see in the upcoming video, please hit it with a like. If you'd like to see more videos like this going through Shadowlands, hit the subscribe button. Let's get this video on the road. Alright, with your level 15 talents, you want to take a Sabertooth. Ferocious Bite deals 20% increased damage and increases the duration of rip on your target by 1 second per combo point spent. So of course you always want to use Ferocious Bite at 5 points, as most any finisher. Alright, level 25, you want to do Wild Charge, but you can do any of these. Renewal is a good self-heal. Tiger Dash has Tiger in the name, however you want to play that. Level 30, Balance Affinity could actually be technically a DPS gain, because you can start hitting the mob 3 yards farther away, which means you're doing damage quicker when going between getting to adds or from boss to boss. Guardian Affinity, which is the one I'm kind of picking because of wanting to kind of jump between tanking as needed, but also decreasing the amount of damage I'm currently taking. Then there's Resto, which is going to give you Ysera's Gift, which is a heal. When you're not taking damage, it'll heal others. All three of these have their place, and they're all great. Level 35, I take Mighty Bash most of the time for dungeons spell stopper, but Heart of the Wild could also be useful, especially when you first start getting into the dungeons, into Mythic Pluses. You could be the savior of a complete wipe in that last little moment. Mass Entanglement I've always seen as a PvP talent, but these can be all great. Level 40, I recommend Soul of the Forest. This is again another passive. Your finishing moves grant 5 energy per combo point spent and deal 5% increased damage. That is your Rip and your Ferocious Bite, which you'll be using pretty continuously. Savage Roar is there. It matters if that fits your playstyle, not my own, but there could give you just something else to have to watch the timer on. Incarnation King of the Jungle could also be very good. However, I like the Berserk just the way it is, and so the Forest I believe gives you more in the end. Level 45, I do Brutal Slash for single target. Now Primal Wrath would be very good for running dungeons, Mythic Plus. Now once you get farther into Mythic Pluses and you're starting to run with very stout, very good other DPS, going back to Brutal Slash may be a good option, so that way you can get the upfront damage as bleeds. Of course, you are waiting for them to tick. Level 50, Moment of Clarity. Omen of Clarity now triggers 50% more often, can accumulate up to 2 charges, and increases the damage of your next Shred, Thrash, or Brutal Slash by 15%. It also, your maximum energy increased by 30. This one just didn't feel good to me. This may be up your alley if you want to see a whole bunch of little RNG procs go up, but this just didn't flow when I was playing. So then you got Blood Talons. When you use 3 different combo point generating abilities within 4 seconds, the damage of your next 2 rips or Ferocious Bite is increased by 30%. This is actually very doable. The 3 different combo points, as you'll see in my next little slide, that this is actually very obtainable. I did play with this. I mean, this is just kind of how you want to play. Alright, so my choice is Feral Frenzy. Unleash a Furious Frenzy, clawing your target 5 times for 447 physical damage and an additional bleed damage over 6 seconds. Of course, those numbers will be different considering what stats that you have on, and it gives you 5 combo points right off the bat. This is a very good option to have, just in case you missed a rip, it just fell off, you accidentally hit Ferocious Bite and you really needed it on there. This right here is kind of that oops, let's fix it button. Alright, so this is what I consider the boss opening rotation. This right here will be how you can open up, and this is the very basic version. There's a lot more you could look at to really capitalize on what a Feral Druid can do, such as snapshotting. I won't go into that. There's 100 videos out about that. Of course, I always say to be in Prowl, because being in Prowl will increase the amount of damage that your Shred will do and the chance of a crit. And of course, going to Tiger's Fury, Rake, Berserk, Shred, and Thrash. Now this is just another dot. Later on, there's a legendary that will increase your damage with your dots. This right here could be very important, but this is also up to you. You can just put another Shred here if you like, or even Brutal Slash. But you want to make sure that when Berserk is up, you're using Shred. If Berserk is not on you, Brutal Slash is a good replacement for its less energy used, and it actually does more damage than Shred does. Alright, so after you get your first 5 combo points, you want to use Rip. Immediately use Feral Frenzy. This will give you your 5 combo points back again, and use Ferocious Bite. Now this right here is going to give you a kind of a burst beginning, and after that point you want to make sure that you keep Rake up, Rip up, and Thrash. These are where you got your three bleeds going. And again, just make sure that you're using Shred with Berserk, Brutal Slash any other time, because this right here is, you want to be able to save as much energy as you can so that you can use Ferocious Bite a little earlier. And also, if you're not at that 50 energy mark, if you didn't take Omen of Clarity, that means about half of your energy bar is full. That's when you want to use Ferocious Bite, and that will give you the most out of your bite. Alright, so those right there are my recommendations on the talents, as well as the starting rotation for the Feral Druid. If this helps you out any, please make sure you hit it up in comments. If you find a little bit of a tweak to this that could really help everyone, please hit in comments as well. I'm always looking to improve, and I'm always trying to make sure that I'm putting out good content to you guys with facts. I've messed around with different rotations, putting different spells in spots that sounds like they would do better. I just couldn't get the same damage with what seemed to be common sense spell placements. They just didn't work, and that's how I came up with this basic rotation. But do use this if you haven't played Feral yet, or you're just coming back. Hit this up, try it, and then make your tweaks throughout. Hope you enjoy the video, and take it easy.